There is a story about a renowned psychology professor at a large university. One Monday morning, he walked into a lecture hall packed with students. He didn't carry any books, and he didn't turn on the projector. In his hand, he held only one thing: a glass of water. He walked slowly to the center of the stage and raised the glass high so everyone could see it. A hush fell over the room. The students looked at each other, smiling and whispering. They thought to themselves, "Here we go again. Is the glass half full or half empty?" It's the oldest cliché in the book. But no, the professor didn't ask that question. He looked around the room, smiled gently, and asked, "How heavy do you think this glass is?" The students started to guess. A young man in the front row called out, "I'd say about 8 ounces. A young woman shouted from the back, "Maybe 12 ounces, if you count the weight of the glass itself." Numbers were flying around the room. The professor kept his smile, nodded slightly, and said, "Thank you, but the absolute weight on the scale doesn't actually matter." He paused for a moment, his expression becoming serious. "The question is, what happens if I hold this glass up just like this for a few minutes?" The class answered in unison, "Nothing. Your arm might get a little tired." "Correct." The professor nodded. "Now what happens if I hold it like this for an entire hour?" A student raised his hand and said, "Your arm will start to ache. Your muscles will cramp up." "Exactly," he continued. "Now imagine I hold this glass in this exact position for 24 hours, from this morning until tomorrow morning. What happens then?" This time, the room went silent. A large athlete stood up and said, "Professor, your arm would go numb and become paralyzed. You would be in severe pain, and you'd probably end up in the hospital." The professor smiled. "You are absolutely right." Then he lowered his voice and asked the most important question. "During all that time of pain and suffering, did the weight of the glass change?" The students shook their heads. "No, the glass weighs exactly the same." Then the professor asked, "What caused the pain? What caused the paralysis?" The lecture hall was dead silent. The students were deep in thought. The weight didn't change, but the arm was breaking. Suddenly, a quiet voice came from the back of the room. "It's because you held on to it for too long. You need to put it down." Immediately, the professor set the glass down on the table. "That," he said, "is the answer." My friends, the story of the professor and the glass ends there. But the lesson is happening right now in your own life. Your worries, your stress at work, the arguments with your family, or the regrets from your past. They are just like that glass of water. The problems themselves are often not as heavy as we think. If you think about them for a moment and then move on, it's like holding the glass for a minute. Everything is fine. But if you think about them all day long, playing them over and over in your mind, you begin to feel tired. You begin to feel anxious. And what happens if you carry those worries with you from day to day? You bring the pressure of the office into your home. You bring your frustration with your boss into your bed. You bring your fear of the future to the dinner table. Just like the professor's arm, your mind will begin to feel paralyzed. This is what we call burnout. You can't focus. You snap at the people you love. You lose the joy of living, not because your life is terrible, but because you have held on to your problems for too long without ever setting them down. We often trick ourselves. We think that to solve a problem, we must think about it 24/7. We are afraid that if we let go, everything will fall apart. But look at the reality. Does staying up all night worrying about tomorrow's meeting actually make the meeting go better? Or does it just mean you show up exhausted and unfocused? Does punishing yourself over a past mistake change what happened? Or does it just steal the happiness of your present moment? The weight of life, just like that glass of water, does not depend on the burden itself. It depends on how long you insist on carrying it. So what is the solution? Right now, I want you to look at your own life. What glass are you holding? Is it anger toward a friend? Is it financial stress? Is it regret over a missed opportunity? Remember the professor's words. Putting the glass down is not giving up. Putting it down is simply allowing your arm to rest. So that later, when you are strong again, when your mind is clear, you can pick it back up and handle it with ease. Life is a long journey. You cannot travel far if you refuse to put down your heavy luggage. Learn to let go. Give yourself permission to rest. And remember, true strength is not about how long you can suffer. True strength is knowing when to put the glass down.